Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Prison to Promise, where we have real conversations about incarceration, transformation, healing, accountability, and the journey from where we've been to where we're called to go. You heard? I'm your host, Dr. Craig Waleed, and today I have the honor of sitting down with a special guest, the good brother Adolphus Redding. In this conversation, we're going to talk about life lessons, growth, and what it means to keep moving forward, even when the road ain't been easy, you heard? One of the reasons I value conversations like this is that they remind us that people are more than their worst moments. They're more than the charge that they face. They're more than a sentence. They're more than a struggle or a chapter in their past. Trust me, I know. People carry stories, wisdom, pain, strength, and purpose. And when those stories are shared honestly, they can help somebody else find their way. And that's what we're here to do. So today, I invite you to listen with an open mind and an open heart as we welcome Adolphus to the Prison to Promise podcast once again. Let's go.
Yeah,
It's so good to see you, brother.
man, it's good to see you.
Man, it's
About
good to be seen.
I know. That's I say that at my church on Sundays. When people come up to me like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." I'm like, "Man, it's good to be seen."
I'm trying to
'Cause,
tell you. Rather be
no,
seen than viewed, right?
yeah, exactly. For real, man. Golly, you want
So
to
how
talk
long
about
ago was it, man? How long ago was it that you were on the my
on the original
podcast
one?
originally?
I believe we did that in like I want to say it because I was still at work release, so I imagine it was like either October or November. Matter of fact, I had just got hired at BMW at that time, so it might have been around yeah, like probably late November.
Okay. But that wasn't like in 2025. That was like what?
No, oh, in 2022.
It's been that long, Adolphus.
Yeah,
Wow. And you had
yeah.
just got out. You weren't out of prison that long either.
No, man, I was still at work release.
Yeah. Wow, man. So it's
Yeah,
been what, like 3 years since?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So hey, man,
yeah.
for people who will listen to this conversation,
Right.
how about introducing yourself? Because we just jumped in.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, my name's Adolphus Redding, Jr. I spent approximately 31 years of my life incarcerated. The first time I fell, I was 20 years old. I went. Uh, it was 1999, 1991. I mean, excuse me,
Mhm.
May 6th of 1991. I spent 11 months out during that time, and when I was eventually released to work release, September 7th of 2022. So
Mhm.
that span of 31 years, I spent 11 months out, and now I'm just back in the community after all the madness of that COVID, everything, and trying to deal with all that, put everything in perspective, and then to get your life back on track and get out here and get back into the. You could, if you listen to the previous interview, you could hear the excitement and I was so ready to get out here and get my life back on track, and that I'm still full of joy, but I'm telling you now, it's after seeing what's going on out here. Obviously, we have our present administration,
Yeah.
uh, among other things, are going the high prices of everything,
Yeah.
just the way people communicate differently, the way people move differently. Uh, it's been a lot to take in, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're probably still taking it in, man, after a
Yeah.
few years, man. It's probably gonna take you quite some time to really find a center, I'm thinking, because you were gone for so long.
Well, that's accurate. Because I know it's an adjustment. I still talk to people, and then one of the main things that I keep hearing from like even my constituents, people that I've done numerous years with, is the anxiety.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of anxiety because I know I personally.
Yeah.
something I didn't identify. I prepared for so many other things coming out, but what I didn't anticipate is that I would have some anxieties.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Living in this world, because this world is crazy.
it's absolutely crazy.
And it ain't the
I've
place
seen
you would remember when you left.
no, no, nothing like that. It's a total trip to me.
Yeah.
And so each day is like, I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. Oh, that's what, oh, yeah, yeah.
What have been some of your biggest struggles or surprises, man, since you've been out?
Um, Learning how to navigate things professionally. So obviously I was a youngster when I left.
Mhm.
So I didn't know about how to move. And, I knew I had good sense about, if you go to an interview, dress well,
Right.
bring, bring the appropriate materials, present yourself, make eye contact, all those basic things.
Mhm.
Those are basic to me because that's
Yeah.
the environment that I grew up in.
Right, right, right.
Uh, I'm putting it into the perspectives of I'm looking at, okay, who doesn't, we always talk about, there's a big thing that talks about reentry now,
Mhm.
but there's people that never really entered society. They never really knew how to move in the first place. So they're not re-entering. If anything, they're getting integrated.
Mhm.
That makes more sense. You're trying to go
Absolutely.
through a process of learning something that's completely different to you. This is foreign.
But you've
And
never learned.
yeah, that you've never learned.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of things. Oh, and I got to share with you too. So shortly after our interview, I had the opportunity to speak at our governor's 2030 reentry event here in Washington.
Uh-huh.
I was a keynote speaker there, and I spoke in front of Governor Inslee about uh, basically reentry, about
Mhm.
the things that I did and that I was involved in while I was gone, in order to get my mind right for when I was eventually released.
Mhm.
And the work that I put in, I'm thankful I did. I wish, in some ways, that I would have done even more.
Mm.
Uh,
But you never
I-
know.
yeah, obviously having to support myself, I had to work the job that I did. So I always try to make the best of that scenario, work the best possible, results of the things that I was doing. Even now,
Mhm.
this is so crazy. So I worked as a bill of materials clerk, as I was, one of my last jobs before I was released from prison.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
what we did is we took components of parts that we were manufacturing in our factory, and
mhm,
we worked with engineers who ran CNC machines
mhm,
that were producing some of these items, whether it be metal or for some of the furniture products out of wood.
mhm.
I am currently a CNC machinist. So it kind of came full circle for me.
Wow.
That here I am operating the machines. I'm producing parts. I'm doing, you know,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I went from the clerical side of things to
Mhm,
now I'm actually out here doing these things. And so we do coordinate measurements, We use what's called Cartesian coordinates.
mhm, mhm,
And it's basically you have to have an X, a Y, and a Z. And those are your starting points for the computer program in order to begin and machine these parts. And so I've learned a lot of things. I joined an apprenticeship program. I completed 2 years of that before my company decided to move to another one,
mhm.
kind of like a minor setback. But those are some of those things that I'm talking about. When we get out here and we have a game plan, we
Right.
have to have plans A through Z and
Mhm.
maybe even some extra, after that because
Okay.
things shift, fall apart, get manipulated,
Mhm.
and I went through that, those little struggles and trying to find my way, trying to, the best route for me, especially at my age. You
Right, right.
know,
I
I'm
think
trying
you
to
and
turn,
I about the same age.
yeah, getting ready to turn 56, man. And I
But
still, uh, I'm trying to figure out how am I going to be able to retire? Who's going to take care of me when I'm no longer able to function? I'm like, those are the things that give me the most anxiety. And even my faith, it reminds me constantly, be anxious for nothing, but in all things by prayer and supplication,
Mhm,
make your requests known to God. And the
mhm.
peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind through Christ Jesus.
Yeah,
And so that's something that was a verse that I've memorized long before I got out, but I've had
mm,
to call upon many
yeah,
times since I've been out.
yeah, because that anxiety is real, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And
It-
that thought about getting older and thinking about retirement or working, I've been out 30, almost 30 years. I still think about that. I've been married for 20 years. I still think about that. And I've
man,
made up in my mind, I'll probably work till I die. Well, who knows, you know? Who knows? But there it seems like, well, it's not that it seems, it is, man, a whole new set of anxieties here in the free world than what's behind the wall. But you, like most people behind the wall, myself included, I would gamble the whole house and say that we'd rather this set of anxieties out here
Yeah.
than be behind the wall. A toe up day in the community is better than a blessed day behind the wall.
Yeah, for real. I, every day I wake up and I'm like, I have to remind myself. I have a list over here that says my daily check-in,
Mhm.
so I can wake up with an attitude of gratitude.
Oh, man.
First of all,
Yeah.
being thankful, man. Just I have to get back to that place. You've overcome this, 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 this.
Mhm.
Being thankful about I'm here, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I've got to experience some things, I've got to, but I still haven't taken a vacation yet. I've been out, like I said, 3 years yet. On my vacation days, the most time I've taken off work was I got COVID
Ah,
after I got out.
that wasn't a vacation.
No. So I
Yeah.
spent 4 days at home sick as a dog and
Yeah.
with my family.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I see my partners are posting pictures. They're in Hawaii, and I, I'm supposed to be going to Mexico sometime soon. I've my dream vacation going to Jamaica. I want to go to
Nice,
Jamaica.
man. Yep. You go to Jamaica, if you just wanna chill, go to a
Yeah,
go to a resort. It'll be like
yeah,
you're in Florida, but you ain't gotta do nothing.
yeah. Just
Just
gonna
get a
sit out there and look at the water, man. That's all I want to do.
that's all you gotta do. Find somewhere to
That's
put your
it.
butt. They'll bring you everything you need. And you gotta get up to the toilet, but other than that, man, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to keep
But hey
peace.
hey, man, but I think vacations are important. We need to find some separation. I think even if that doesn't mean leaving the state or the neighborhood, but just finding some time to separate from our responsibilities and do something that might be new and different for us, or even familiar, but something that we can do that helps us take care of ourselves and maybe explore ourselves and have some fun. um,
Yeah.
because we have to have fun. I think many, I can't say every, but many creatures outside of human beings find time for play. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
we have to find some balance. You know? But you mentioned something I didn't want to let get away too, man, and that is the work you were doing in the penitentiary was coinciding with CNC operators, and now you are a CNC operator yourself. Do you
Yeah.
think that that work you were doing inside somehow inform your current career position as a CNC operator?
It did in a way because it gave me another. So I collected all these tools. Like I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. I've
Uh-huh.
collected bits and pieces of things. I've been a HACCP coordinator, which works with food, so I worked under USDA inspection, been an order entry clerk, been a
Mm,
floor coordinator, which is basically the general in the shop that makes sure that the parts that you're manufacturing move through the appropriate stations so they can get out the door to the customer.
mm,
All those different things help prepare me. And being a bill of materials clerk gave me some insight as to what the processes were
yeah,
about how parts were engineered and how they're manufactured.
mm,
So when here it is my time to do the manufacture, all those things help me build processes to go ahead and so I know how to lay out things. I know, okay, so if I'm going to start a new job, first things are important, lot numbers,
mm.
things like that. Okay, we got a work order number. Let's get that down. How many am I producing? What's the due date on this? All those kind of different questions that you can script out ahead of time makes your work so much easier.
Did you see the work that you was doing, excuse me, that you were doing behind the wall as a potential avenue for a career when you got out? Did you know you were preparing yourself for a professional career while doing this work?
I did, but I didn't know what it would be.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I took on as many to gain as many skills as I could
Mm, yeah,
so that I'd have versatility
yeah,
in whatever I might end up doing
dig it.
and be
It's
able
a
to speak about those things.
and speak about them, and you speak well about everything that you talk about, and so I'm highlighting this to say for people who are listening, particularly those of our brothers and sisters who are behind the wall, learn to articulate yourself, learn to express yourself well without expletives. I mean, there's a time and a place for a shit, damn, and a fuck, but We have
Yeah.
to learn how to articulate ourselves without expletives. Also, what I want to highlight about from your story for people is that when you're behind the wall, you can take charge of preparing yourself for your release. There's many things you can do to shape your thinking, your skill set, your mindset, that you don't have to depend on the system for, you know?
Like we talked about before when we were talking about, tearing your frame down,
Yeah,
tearing everything down to the studs and rebuilding.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Life, every institution, I don't know of any prison that doesn't have a library.
That's right.
So train yourself. They're
Yeah.
okay. They don't offer these classes. Okay. See how you can get those books. See where do you write or do you save? Do
Mhm.
your own money? Do you ask your family to send them? Can you go to the library and get that information
Mhm.
and then start studying? I have a partner who sat and studied real estate books the whole time he was down, put his TV away,
Yeah.
home TV, put all that stuff away, study real estate. That man is out here now making deals. He is refurbishing houses, making millions,
Yeah.
doing great.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, man, we had these conversations, man. And I was so envious. I was so time burdened, like
Yeah.
I even now.
Yeah.
But that investment is paying off for him.
Yeah, yeah. I've met some guys like that too, man. I'm like, wow, maybe I could've did that instead of
Yeah.
what he did. But, we all have our own gifts, our own talents, and those things come to the forefront when we start looking around for what is it that I wanna do, try to do, those interests. I think that's when we truly become educated, because our interests, our abilities, our proclivities, they come to the forefront, and then we feed them. And, some of us are jacks of all trades, masters of none. Some of us are entrepreneurs, some of us are scholars and on and engineers. And so I think we all have that lane. But I think when we look at other people, especially those of us who are coming out of the penitentiary who are doing well, it's like, shit, I could have did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm
Hey,
happy for every brother and sister that's doing well post incarceration.
absolutely. You know what? Another big thing that's really helped me out is when I did get out,
Yeah.
through all the little phases, social media. Our
Mm.
Facebook family of people that I've done time with,
Oh,
the positive ones. I'm not talking about the cats that just stand out in the yard all day
right.
kicking. I'm talking about guys that are doing things in their communities, that are doing positive things with their lives, that have good careers going, families. I've seen a lot of that. A lot of these guys are getting out, and all of a sudden they got kids, babies
Yeah.
coming up,
Yeah.
uh, or reconnecting with their pre-existing families, and that's a beautiful thing as well. But that connection that we're able to encourage each other. We're able to inspire each other to, continue on. Like
Yeah.
even my workouts, I still work out and every now and then I'll post a video and some of them think, oh man, what are you doing? You're just showing off. It's like, no, I'm actually just showing that I'm still disciplined. I'm still doing the same things that I did while I was gone. And
Yeah.
it's a reminder to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a structure, you know,
And
it's a structure. And what I know from my life is that prior to going to prison, I didn't have a whole lot of structure. Though prison is a structured and regimented environment that's really harmful to people, I was able to extract some good things out of that myself. And one is structure, expectations, doing the things that help me live, help me win, help me move forward. And most of all, keep me out of trouble, i.e., keep me out of the penitentiary. And that's what I
yeah,
hear you saying. I'm doing those things that help me stay structured. And I stay connected with the brothers that were there because they helped me stay reminded, and I helped them stay reminded. And then as you
yeah,
were talking about that, I'm thinking about how there's always these affinity groups, man, and sororities and fraternities. And those of us who've been in the penitentiary, man, we have our own fraternity, our own sororities, especially those of us who are turning the leaves over, living new jobs, turning this experience inside out and empowering ourselves and other people. So I salute you. I salute the brothers that you connect with on Facebook, and I salute every group of formerly incarcerated people across the country who are coming together to help build each other up and hold each other up. We need that because the regular society ain't necessarily going to give it to us. They say they are, but I don't think they support us all.
no, people don't forgive. And or they look at it and it's like, oh, they,
Yeah.
oh my, never, I've never, I went to I just recently had a job interview. Everything was great by all means. That man, they introduced me to everybody in the dang building.
Uh,
Uh, real great, everything. There was some little conversation about my past
Yeah.
that I've done time, and I saw everything back away, and I saw I didn't even get return phone calls, and then when I reached out, and was like, "Oh, I hadn't got back to you yet." That was the message, a text message, but you still never followed up, and so I left. But those are the kind of things that we'll face. Those are the kind of, people that aren't as educated about,
Yeah.
people who truly made that I've recorded since I've been out. I've recorded like 3 different promotional videos.
Nice.
But yeah, I've had Correctional Industries, where I worked for 15 years while I was inside, come to my job and film a video of me there. I had the apprenticeship program that I joined, come film, do a presentation on, what it was like for me to get out and, and start this career as
Yeah.
a CNC machinist,
Yeah.
speaking in front of the governor,
Yeah.
all these things they could see the positive work, but they were still like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I do. I didn't kill anybody.
Right.
Definitely wasn't a sex offender. Wasn't,
Right.
involvement. But you can
I think
expect that.
it's the idea of being incarcerated, because someone meets you, they meet me, they meet many other people on an individual level. It's golden, but once the ideal of the carceral system is paired with us, then we become the boogeyman, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, I didn't know you were arrested or you did time or you did that.
Yeah.
But it's like you did some bullshit in the past too. Are you the same person?
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you know my whole story? You know?
No. Yeah. The
But
judgment.
but what you described it has been my same experience, bro, in the past, and probably even still, man, but I've been in my own groove for a while, but yeah, people are still kind of, I'm gonna, for lack of a better term, weird when they find out that you've done time. Yo,
But it does.
go ahead, go
I
ahead.
don't let it surprise me because of the fact that, like I said, you see what's going on in our political climate.
We
The
sure
cat.
do.
Now, I come from a system where everybody spoke so badly about certain offenses,
Mhm.
and they were on that. They were on that. I'm talking like checking paperwork. Hey, on these cats.
Absolutely.
But here you are,
Yep.
and you went full support and marching right along with,
Right on.
yeah. And I'm like yeah,
You
yeah.
must be one too.
Man, I was like, I'm sitting here looking at like, really, you just flipped the script. Oh, this is okay though.
Yeah.
Prior to the, I was like, this is okay.
Yeah.
Really, this is okay. But there was a guy that posted something on Facebook. It was the
Uh-huh.
most profound breakdown
Yeah.
of the character that we're speaking about and those different things. If you're this way, this is your guy. If you're this way, this is your guy. If you're this way, this is your guy. And he was like breaking down all of these things. If you're a misogynist, if you're a racist, if you're a bigot, if
Mm.
all these different, if you're a schemer, scammer, that you identify, there's a piece in here that you can identify with.
'Cause
You
this
know,
guy's all of that.
this guy is all of that. He's your guy.
Yeah.
And
Everything
those
south of morale.
Yeah, because it's the breakdown of the character of the people that are in this country now, and a lot of it is really just stuff that has been latent, that is just now resurfaced. Now
Right.
they feel it's okay. You can get out loud and stuff. Things that have outraged people for so many years that they felt like they've been suppressing.
Yeah.
Now it's just like post traumatic stress.
Yeah.
And there's so many different manifestations of. This is something I just found out within the last month and talking to some of my, brothers and then even people that haven't been incarcerated that
Yeah.
have post traumatic stress. It manifests in so many different ways.
Yes, it does. It sure does. Behaviors, physical symptoms, ailments, yeah,
Yeah.
all kinds of
Addictions, all that.
all kinds of stuff. So yeah, on the other side of this thing, we're seeing it come out in every different kind of way, you know?
COVID really did a lot of COVID was so telling because even inside, so imagine you saw how crazy it was out here.
Yeah.
So imagine, we all know that prison is just basically like a sub society.
That's
We
all.
have our own. And so you get to see in there intensely. And now imagine in my state, they stopped all these, they started shutting down a lot of the mental health facilities.
Yeah.
And so they were locking them up.
Mhm.
And so then you see people unraveling inside
Yeah.
in a cage that's
Yeah.
inside of a cage.
Yeah.
Just, it
Yeah.
was, man, I'm telling you to navigate through all that and get out of there with not only, what I feel is my sanity,
Mm,
but, my health and all
yeah,
that. That's why I say that attitude of gratitude. I wake up every day and I'm so thankful because I literally just came from a war zone. I came back from war.
absolutely, bruh, and that was traumatic just living in that environment, you know,
Yeah.
and
People
witnessing
die. Yeah. All
and
that,
being subjected to it, just being subjected to the physical environment. That in and of itself is trauma,
Yeah.
without the people, just the harsh living, yeah. So, I like how you said with what I see as my sanity, what I think is my sanity. I feel sane. I'm doing things, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not in the funny farm, but I'm here to argue. Well, I'm not here to argue, but I would argue that the penitentiary impacts us on so many levels, physiologically as well as psychologically. And people like you, people like me, and others, we probably found some way to maintain balance. Like you stayed busy working, studying. That's what I did. That's what quite a few people did. But if
Mhm.
we don't, I think all the harshness of the penitentiary overtakes you,
Yeah.
emotionally, psychologically, attitudinally, as well as physiologically, you know.
Yeah.
We
Because
fought
it's a
hard.
force. Yeah.
It is,
There's
it's
so many
amazing.
different aspects of attack. And I didn't understand that, that spiritual warfare. Oh my goodness. Like
Oh,
you said, the emotional attacks, the physical attack.
yeah, yeah. Yo, let me tell you, man, s I've been out of the joint, almost, like, 29 years. I developed Crohn's disorder. I had to have some of my intestine removed. I developed cardiac issues. I had to have bypass surgery. Bro, I'm the same age as you. And this is all because of the stress of the penitentiary, the stress of early childhood trauma.
Yeah.
I read this book. It said the body keeps the score,
It does.
and
Oh,
and this trauma shows up in various ways throughout our life. Whenever we go through trauma, so just like
yeah.
PTSD will show up different, this trauma will show up different. And PTSD, yes, trauma. There it is. So, yeah.
Oh, before I forget, before I neglect, and just to let you know, there hasn't been a perfect journey for me. I felt like so an ex of mine introduced me to the casino. Oh my goodness. Why? That was like another drug addiction.
Ugh,
Now here I am fighting my way out of not going down to the casino every time I feel
yeah,
like I want some entertainment or something fun or that excitement because
yeah,
I'm wired as an adrenaline junkie kind of
yeah,
because
yeah,
I used to do robberies back in the day
yeah,
because I was on drugs and
yeah,
so that whole, but growing up, I was an adventurous kid. I
yeah.
played in the woods and the forest. But when we got moved from the forest and back into the inner city, then my adventures became, you know, malicious. Here we are shoplifting now. Here we are,
Oh,
with these neighborhood kids, we're doing burglaries, stealing bikes,
yeah.
all the things that people attribute to just being a normal youngster, whatever, but they progress.
Adventure is still in risk taking still, but yeah,
Yeah. And so that between the casino, get into drinking a little bit. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
so now this is not, this is now I realize, okay, now wait, you're getting on the slippery slope
Ooh,
because I'm seeing people in here that I did time with now. And I'm seeing them and I'm looking like, bro, are you on drugs? Bro, what are you up to? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh no, this ain't the place where I need to be at. And then the care, that's not to say everybody that goes in the casino is on this, but
right.
and that,
But for
that,
you,
that yes, but I recognize things and elements in there that I don't need to be there. I just don't
wow,
need to.
man, that's powerful, man, that you were able to catch yourself.
Yeah, it's
You know,
rough, man.
yo, two hip hop statements come to mind because when you talked about coming out of a war zone, I thought about Mob Deep. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from, it,
Yeah,
And then you just mentioned, catching yourself. And I'm thinking about Mob Deep. I mean, not Mob Deep, but Daz Effects. They said, you chickadee check yourself before you wreck
or you wreck
yourself.
yourself.
You know,
Yeah, for real.
check yourself before you wreck yourself, and you realize this came out. This
You
power.
know, this last week, leading up to this conversation, man, I've really been
Bethlehem
uh,
Baptist.
evaluating some of my habits, man.
Yeah,
Once again, and I've had to do that because, like I said, I'm really active in my church,
Yeah,
and I'm really like I have a transparent nature because one thing I learned is like, remember what I told you before about you can't defeat an enemy that you're not willing to face.
that's right.
Uh,
Mhm.
so I had to look at myself really objectively and not with that not sugarcoating stuff and giving myself a break. And people are like, "Oh, don't be so hard on it." No, you got to be hard on yourself.
That's called
It's like
being
this is the
brave.
world we live in.
Yeah,
Let's be real about it. I'm drinking too much. I
yeah,
don't need to be going to the casino. I
yeah,
don't need to be sleeping with these different women
mhm,
trying to force a relationship.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? I had to really this week. I haven't done anything. I've been just working. I'm going to interviews. I was blessed with the opportunity though to meet a brother that was my workforce development specialist while I was inside.
nice.
Uh, Yeah, he left and went to another state to pursue something else, but he's recently returned, and we've been working really close. We've been out, going out to eat and meeting with a couple of the other brothers that I know that's on
Mhm.
some positive stuff. And we're
No,
trying to start something in our community, and
great.
so that's given me that positive thing to focus my energy towards when I'm not at work.
Yeah,
You dig?
yeah.
That?
But, Adolphus, listening to you talk, um, it sounds like your return journey is very synonymous to many people. There's some ebbs, some flows, some ups, some downs. There's a couple of steps backwards and then a couple of more forward than where I was, you know. And it sounds like you're doing a fantastic job, man. Keeping yourself on the mustaqim, on the straight and narrow, you know. And I just want to applaud you, man, because a lot of people need to hear this. Because people think that reentry and return to home is perfect, man. But we know, man, this is a struggle out here. And
Oh yeah.
not only are we struggling against the forces of the community who don't like us because we've been incarcerated, but we struggle against our own demons, you know?
Yes.
And sometimes the discipline that we build up behind the wall, it's hard to maintain that with all the demands and distractions of this world, man. You know?
Yeah. You
I
hit
just
the nail on the head.
Yeah. And so in our last couple minutes, we got about like 6 minutes left. I just want to say, man, keep fighting, man. Keep struggling, man. Keep going, one foot in front of the other, man. Getting more strong every day.
I am because I like I said before, I've taken this role on. I know I'm an ambassador for the second chances because this is actually my third chance. Like I said,
Yeah,
uh, face the life sentence, man.
yeah,
I'll never forget what that felt like sitting in the county with uncertainty,
yeah,
and then the people that I've lost along the way, people that went through the same things I did, people that just had gotten out and are no longer here anymore.
yeah, yeah,
One of the saddest stories I saw, there was a guy I did time with. I'll be real brief, but we did time. Uh, went to school together, did all this stuff. We got out kind of relatively around the same time. He tried to get his son out of some stuff that he was getting into. His own son shot him and killed him. His dad came out, saw that, and went back in the house and died too, bro. You want to talk about just a heartbreaking story, man. I'll just never, the things that I've seen throughout my lifetime, and I'm telling you, and those are those traumas that I talk about. All the people that I've lost, people that I've been around that are no longer here. That we have these conversations, just like we're having now,
yeah,
about moving forward and the things we watching out for the pitfalls of life.
yeah,
And so it's just always a constant reminder to me
yeah,
how I have to walk a straight and narrow and how I have to really live as an ambassador, man.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
be out here messing around in areas that I know I ain't supposed to. Yeah. Hey, don't go chasing waterfalls.
That's right. That's right. There you go. Don't go chase.
Yeah.
Think what you're used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna get you to win. But yo, man, I mean, I think you're doing some great stuff. And yeah, you're an ambassador. And yeah, we have to be hard on ourselves, but we also have to be willing to forgive ourselves. You know,
Yeah.
and we also have to be very kind to ourselves because our bodies and our subconscious understands what we think and say about ourselves.
Right.
It's very important. Um, I think, I've been out here for almost 30 years post incarceration. I keep saying that because I'm amazed, but I'm also saying it to continue to let you and others know that you can stay out.
Yeah.
You can do 25 to life in the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
For
know,
real.
I'm
Yeah.
working I'm working on the elbow right now. So we can do it out here. Get out and do life. And that's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. You're working on your life sentence.
Yeah.
Yo,
So
one last thing. If anybody wants to reach out to you for conversation, invite you to speak or anything, how can they find you? Where can they find you?
I'm on my Gmail account, Adolphus Adolphus Jr. at Gmail. Oh wait, excuse me. Let me back that up. Adolphus Adolphus Jr. 1970 at gmail.com.
Mm.
They can contact me there, or even through Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Ian Redding, EION Redding. I'm definitely working on some things and trying to get some things in progress for so far as I was talking about trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of us have those childhood traumas that are resolved, and those are the things that we're still out here trying to figure out how to manage, and a lot of people aren't managing well. That's how they end up in these cycles and systems.
Absolutely. We need to come back and do a part 2 and talk about this right here.
Yes.
Let's do that soon. Let's do
All
that
right.
real soon.
Love
right,
you,
brother.
love seeing you, man.
Love you as well, brother.
God bless you too, bro.
Thank you, brother. And I wish you the same blessings to you and all that you touch. May you live a long life.
All right. You as well.
Peace, brother.
All right. Talk to you soon.
One.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me for another episode of the Prison to Promise podcast. If you or someone you know would like to share their Prison to Promise story on this platform, please hit me up at drcraigwaleed@gmail.com. I'll spell it for you. That's DrCraigWaleed@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.